1, 2. There's a sound recording as well. Yeah, this is better. Center we can understand. I saw that I want to talk to you, so maybe I record a video and put it up after I'm done. But I gotta think about a title. And there is this one title that comes to me is most people think like most people. I think it's a really nice title. If you want to elaborate on it, perhaps I can share one of the biggest kept secret tips that I have. But maybe today I share it with you and I teach you how to actually use it. I mean, the title pretty much says it all. Don't think like most people, Think original, be yourself. Change the camera, because that does not let me get into the flow. I was too yeah, this is good. Be original, right? And to be original, what you need is not to follow others, because most people, they think like most people because they don't think. So most people don't think, most people just follow. And if you don't follow anyone, if you don't become a fan, which the majority of people on this planet are just fanboys, right? Simply have all these different ways of praising someone in some category, in some section of the society, and perhaps listen to that person and do whatever that person says, because of course you're a fan and you want to be like that person, or you believe into whatever that person is telling you and it makes sense to you, to that fan. That's what like politics is all about, right? Creating a fan base, creating just the majority of people that can't think for themselves. You think for them, and then they perhaps vote for you. Which, unfortunately, everything is getting out of control, right? No one really knows how to think, because every single day thoughts are being implemented in your head for perhaps how many hours of internet you're using. If you're using 5 hours, 5 hours of thoughts are being put into your head. That's just how it works. Now you're watching this video, I'm putting a thought in your head. Like, simply, there is no other way of communication for us. If I don't put a thought in your head, I just simply become a perfect entertainment. That's when you watch some, let's say, movie that you don't necessarily need to think. You just like getting all that entertainment for your brain to be able to release dopamine. But if we want to really talk, I have to create a thought in your head. Otherwise, there is no possibility. Otherwise, perhaps you just look at my video, mute. That's when you can maybe just enjoying the scenery. But overall, whatever communication you have, whatever influencer you follow, whatever group you participate in, you gotta realize that there is nothing to follow here. I don't want to be a follower. I want to be an original thinker. And how to be an original thinker should be your main goal. Because if you can't think originally, then you are most people. If you can't think for yourself, then you are most people. You are the crowd. You are the average human being that goes through a miserable life. Average human being goes through a really, really bad life. And why would you want to be an average human being when you can just simply be original? And you might think to yourself, but not everyone can be original. It's quite opposite. Everyone is original. They just need to discover themselves. And if you go discover yourself, then you are an original. Before that, you're just most people. Now, the first best kept secret was, don't be a follower. Simply do not follow belief systems. Easier said than done, right? But now I want to tell you how you can simply not follow. The first thing is, you have to put this idea in your head that you don't want to follow anyone. Like, simply, you want to question things for yourself. You listen to people, you read books, you do whatever you've been doing so far. However you live your life, keep on doing it. But from now on, tell yourself that you don't want to be a follower. You don't want to be a fanboy. You don't want to be simply a slave of your conditioning in brain. By acknowledging this fact that you just don't want to be a follower, you simply create a portal for you to be able to observe what's happening with you as a follower, because you are already a follower. You have so many people you follow, and you have so many people that they are important to you, even though you don't know them. Now, stop this agreement and disagreement. You become a follower when you agree with someone, and you resent another influencer because you disagree, another person because you disagree. There is no person that you keep on agreeing and you don't create a bond, because you continuously agree with that person. And where does this agreement come from? Like, why do you have to agree with people? Like, why do we agree? Agreement is a mutual understanding that I support what you're saying. When you want to agree with someone, you make sure you tell them that you agree with them. But if you're original, if you are living your truth, why would you need any agreement? If you really live your truth, agreement is not needed. Agreement is when you want to do something for the sake of something else. Or perhaps the society wants to stop you from something, from doing something that is just not favorable to the society, they make you agree with it. Look at all these agreements we sign. What's written in those agreements? You don't read them, do you? No one reads them. You just quickly click agree. And you hope for the best because everyone else does it. Most people think like most people. That's just how it is. That's why we don't read about the agreement and we just like accept it. Simply because everyone else does it. If everyone was reading all the agreements because we figured out that none of these corporations want our benefits, they want their own benefits. And if we all agree on that, right? If we all accept that nothing is agreeable, then you have to read all those terms and conditions. But we don't do it. And we just give ourselves to all these corporations by simply agreeing. So, let's stop this agreement and disagreement. Let things be. Let whoever you follow be. And just observe. Don't simply agree with that person for the sake of satisfying your ego because you have gathered enough knowledge to be able to agree with someone that has high values. You would say, oh yeah, I have the same values. Then I'm a good person, I'm very civilized, or whatever you might want to call yourself. But in fact, you're not original. You're just simply agreeing with someone that says something. And it makes sense to you because you've been conditioned all your life. What did I say? I said agreement for thousands of times and nothing made sense. How do I expect you to understand this video, huh? I don't get it. But perhaps this is a better way of making videos. So I want to just do more like this to see what happens. But I don't know. Whatever comes, it will come. Stop agreeing with me, with whoever is out there that you need to agree. Stop it. Personally, I never believed in anything, never believed in anyone. At least I tried. And it worked pretty well, you know. Only if everyone else could be their individual self, you know. Only if everyone else could also think for themselves and figure out their own shit. But most people don't want to really figure their own shit out. That's the problem. They always want someone else to blame. Never themselves. When it comes to themselves, it's only just like this whole shame and guilt trip that you go on. Nothing is real. It's again from your conditioning. Like no one simply wants to listen for their body and see what the body is saying. Like if whatever is bad for your body will tell you, look, it's bad for me, and whatever is good for your body will tell you, yeah, it's good for me. And then, isn't that life? Like take care of your body and mental health and the rest will just follow. But we do none of these two things. We don't care what's our body going through, or at least we don't care first half of our life. The second half, perhaps we become a little bit scared of dying, and then we just want to do something better for our body. But then the first half really got us hooked, and you can't really get out of this whole destruction that you are going through, gradually just killing yourself a little bit faster than normal rate. And your body is just so kind to go through all this destruction with you, and keep it going. And then your mental health, oh my god, none of us are really sane, you know, like none of us really functioning on a normal state. If you consider a certain brain activity normal, none of us are really there, because you go through so much in life before you get to adulthood, and that's not in your hand. That's not like determined when before you are born. You are born somewhere on this planet. Depending on where, you will just have a totally different conditioning, right? Millions of different conditioning on this planet exist, and you go through that your entire life. And then you become an adult. Now everything is just digital and everything is just completely global, but your conditioning is just like pretty local. Then you have to deal with all this thing going on in the world. Then how do you expect your brain will just behave? It will just go crazy, right? And then you look at the society, you realize that everyone is just simply insane. Like simply everyone going through some mental issue, and no one knows how to fix things anymore, you know, like there is no possibility of therapy, for example, for people. Before, like perhaps 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, therapy was easy. Like you could go to a therapist, and the therapist have seen like plenty of your cases, right? And then perhaps will offer you something, and that works, because everyone is just somehow insane in one direction, two directions, but limited directions, you know. But now everyone is just individually insane, like simply individually insane. And the only way to be able to fix this, the only way to be able to manage this stupid snowball of humanity, is to just everyone wake up for themselves. Like simply everyone has to wake up for themselves, like individual beings. We need individual beings. If we just go through this whole math way of doing things, like crowd way of doing things, we're bound to fail. Continuously we're bound to fail. That's how it has been for the whole history of human beings. We went through one culture to another, community to another, and we just could not deal with each other's tradition and culture. And then we ended up killing and killing and killing and killing, with the name of all these communities, with the name of all these religious agenda. We killed each other to be able to prove ourselves. Like that's what we did. We are doing it Now even on a bigger scale, we're doing it globally. Like, people are afraid of World War III, but the World War III happened like 50 years ago. It's just simply when humanity started to wake up, when humanity started to realize that, oh, wait a second, there is some equal rights. Oh, wait a second, I can do something, you know. Oh, wait a second, like, I can wake up and wake other people up. World War III happened 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, when people woke up. And it's just war against humanity. And if you don't realize that you are in war with your establishments, you're in war with whatever is outside you, you can't fix yourself. There is no way that you can fix yourself if you don't realize that whatever is happening in the world is not what's real. It's not what's happening really. Whatever is happening in the world, it does not happening in you. It does not happening with you. You're happening and the world is happening. But if you think you are part of the world that is happening, you're gonna lose your life to this world that is already in a war for so many years. That's the only thing I want from you. Individuality. The hell with everything else. The hell with this video. The hell with whoever tells you what's best for you. I met so many people in my life, and I worked closely with also so many people in my life. There is one thing that is common. With everyone. And that's what we talked about in this video. Everyone. Forget about it. Didn't come out. I wanted to say it, but it didn't sound right. All I ask you is that I don't need your agreement. I don't need anything from you. I don't even know what I'm doing with this channel, honestly. Like, it looks pretty clear what I'm doing, but it's not. Somehow I have to get your attention. to somehow convince you to be your own person, somehow convince you to not be a follower, somehow convince you that, look, whatever you think you're going through, however you want to do this life, there is no escape from what I want you to do. There's no escape. You might end up doing it like perhaps after so long, but my job is like to help you to do it as soon as possible. And that's simply upgrading your brain. That's simply rewiring your brain, because this brain gives you this possibility to rewire, gives you this possibility to clear the whole junk inside. But you gotta do it. You gotta go toward it yourself, simply without anyone else, simply without relying on anything else, because it's your brain, it's with you. You can sit with it and simply deal with it. And I get it, I totally understand. Your brain went through a whole brainwashing process. Your brain went through a whole conditioning with whatever dopamine inducing activity, and now your dopamine level is too high to get you to a state that you feel okay, joyful, happy. I get it that now your reality kind of feels boring, your reality kind of feels bland. Nothing is really there for you to feel happy about. Then you need all these dopamine releases, then you need all these drugs, alcohol, sugar, coffee, whatever that enhances your dopamine release, you're addicted to. I get it. I've been there myself. I am still there. But a wide range of my addictions is not there anymore. A wide range of my addictions are simply gone. And oh, am I happy for it? Honestly, I cannot be more grateful. Every single day, I cannot be more grateful than I am. And I just want to offer that to you too. I just want to give you that possibility of getting over of all this nonsense and start a new way of looking at things, start a new way of living. Turn your boredom into something that you cannot fathom right now, because that's the only way I can explain it to you. You cannot fathom what existence can offer to you in absolute boredom. What existence can offer to your brain in absolute boredom. I cannot tell you because you don't understand. Don't be like most people. Please. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, I think it's enough for today, huh? But yeah, write for me what you think in the comments, and like this video. Perhaps we can have a bigger community if we can convince YouTube that this video is likable and attractive and engageable. You take care of yourself.